Many people carry invisible weights. Curses, spoken words, negative intentions, they leave scars that are unseen but deeply felt. And yet there are 3 simple words, when understood and applied, that can shatter these chains and return power to your spirit. Today, I want to show you how these words do not just break curses, they realign your entire life. From the very beginning of our lives, we are surrounded by words. They shape the way we think, the way we see ourselves, and even the way we understand the world around us. Some words uplift, they inspire courage, and they awaken a strength we did not know was there. But other words can wound. They can take root in the mind like seeds of poison, repeating in our thoughts until we begin to believe them. This is how curses work. A curse is not always something spoken in rituals or dark ceremonies. Many times, it is as simple as a phrase said with anger, or a judgment that is spoken with intent to harm. The energy of those words lingers, and if we are not conscious, we carry them within us for years. Think for a moment about the times you were told you were not good enough, or that you would never succeed, or that you were destined for failure. These are not just casual statements, they are word forms that carry vibration, and that vibration begins to echo inside of you. If you accept those words, even silently, you begin to live according to them. This is why it feels like chains around your life, why progress feels heavy, and why certain patterns seem to repeat themselves. Words are not empty, they are seeds. And whether they grow or wither depends on whether you choose to water them with your attention. When someone speaks life over you, telling you that you are strong, capable, or worthy, you feel lighter, you stand taller. The energy shifts instantly, and you begin to believe in your ability to overcome. This is not an accident. It is proof that words carry power. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine years of hearing negativity, curses, or spoken limitations. Without awareness, you begin to embody them as truth, even when they were never yours to begin with. The tongue has the power to bind, but it also has the power to release. This is why it is so important to recognize the invisible weight of words. A curse does not live in the sound that fades after it is spoken. It lives in the echo that continues inside of you. Once you see this, you begin to understand that you are not truly bound by the curse itself. You are bound by the agreement you made with it, whether consciously or unconsciously. And when you see that truth, you also see the way out. Breaking curses begins here, with the awareness of the power of words over spirit. When you awaken to this, you no longer receive words blindly. You test them, you observe them, and you decide if they deserve a place within your being. No curse, no judgment, no negative word can survive when you refuse to feed it. A curse, whether spoken deliberately or hidden in careless words, can only survive when it finds a place to take root. The soil it needs is our unconscious agreement. Most of the time, this agreement is not something we consciously make. It happens silently, almost invisibly. Someone speaks negativity over us, and without realizing it, we begin to carry those words inside. They echo in our minds, shaping the way we think, the way we act, and even the way we expect life to unfold. This is how curses gain strength, not from the words themselves, but from the hidden agreement we make with them. Awareness is the light that dissolves this invisible contract. When you become aware, you begin to see clearly that you do not have to accept every word spoken over you. You start to recognize the difference between what belongs to you and what was placed on you by someone else. Just like walking into a dark room, the moment a light is switched on, shadows lose their power. Awareness does the same with curses. It reveals them for what they are, words that have no lasting authority unless you choose to give them life. The difficulty is that many of us live without noticing how deeply words have shaped us. We repeat stories in our minds that were never truly ours. We live under limitations that were whispered into us years ago. We even sabotage our own growth because somewhere in our subconscious, a seed of doubt was planted and we watered it without realizing. Awareness interrupts this cycle. It allows you to pause and ask, is this thought truly mine? Is this belief truly my own? Or is it something I unconsciously inherited from someone else's words? The moment you can ask those questions, you are already breaking the spell. Because a curse thrives in silence and ignorance. It thrives when you never question it, when you accept it as truth without looking deeper. But the instant you bring awareness, you expose it. And once exposed, its power begins to dissolve. A lie only works in darkness. Once it is seen, it can no longer control you. This is why awareness is not just the beginning of breaking curses. It is the very act of reclaiming your authority. When you awaken, you take back the power that was always yours. You no longer allow your life to be directed by unconscious agreements. Instead, you choose consciously which words you will carry and which you will release. Awareness is liberation. It is the recognition that no curse has power unless you accept it. And once you see this truth, the chains begin to fall, not because the curse disappeared, but because you stopped giving it permission to live inside of you. There are moments in life when everything feels heavy, when the weight of negativity, judgment, or curses seems too strong to bear. And yet, within the human spirit, there are simple keys that can unlock freedom in ways that no external force can take away. These keys are not complicated rituals or secret formulas. They are 3 words, so simple that anyone can speak them, yet so powerful that when truly understood, they can break the deepest of chains. The reason these words matter is not because of their sound alone, but because of the intention and awareness behind them. Words carry vibration, but it is your alignment with them that determines their strength. When you say them with conviction, they are not just sounds leaving your mouth. They are declarations that reshape the energy around you and within you. They cut through the lingering echoes of curses and open a new space where light can enter. The first impact of these words is immediate. They interrupt the pattern of agreement that once kept the curse alive. When spoken, they announce that you no longer consent to carrying what was placed upon you. They sever the invisible contract that tied you to words of harm. And in that very moment, you are no longer a passive receiver of energy. You become an active shaper of it. The second impact is deeper. These words do not only break chains, they also remind you of your true identity. A curse tries to reduce you, to limit you, to shrink the horizon of what you believe is possible. But these words restore perspective. They remind you that no human judgment, no negative intention, has the authority to define your life. When you claim them, you are aligning yourself with truth rather than illusion, with freedom rather than bondage. The third impact is ongoing. Speaking these words once is powerful, but living them is transformative. To live them means that in every situation, you no longer bow to negativity. You no longer allow external voices to dictate your path. Instead, you walk in alignment with an energy that cannot be broken. And as you live them, you begin to radiate a presence that others can feel. People may still try to speak against you, but their words cannot find a home in you anymore. These words are not magic in the sense of superstition. Their power lies in the clarity they bring, the authority they awaken, and the alignment they create. They are a reminder that curses are fragile things, built only on belief and agreement. The moment you stand in truth, they collapse. And so, when these 3 words rise from your lips with awareness, when they are spoken not just as a sound but as a declaration of the spirit, every curse loses its hold and freedom begins to flow through your life. When a curse is broken, what remains is a space, and if that space is left empty, it will be filled again, by fear, by doubt, or by the lingering shadow of the past. This is why breaking a curse is not only about removing what was harmful, it is also about replacing it with something stronger. It is about stepping into inner authority, because only then does the freedom last. To remove darkness is good, but to fill the room with light ensures that the darkness has no place to return. Authority over yourself is the shield that no curse can pierce. It is not about controlling others or proving power to the world. It is about standing so firmly in who you are that no external voice can shake you. When you embody inner authority, words spoken against you lose their edge. They may be thrown at you, but they cannot stick, because your sense of self does not depend on them. You no longer measure your worth by outside approval or disapproval. You begin to walk with an energy that is unshakable. Consider how a tree stands. The wind may push against it, storms may test its strength, yet a tree with deep roots does not fall. This is what inner authority is. It is the rooting of your being so deeply in truth that curses cannot uproot you. When you lack this grounding, any negative word can sway you, bend you, even break you. But when you are rooted, the storm passes, and you remain standing. This authority grows from clarity. It grows from the awareness that your life is yours to shape, and no curse can rewrite your destiny unless you hand it over. The one who knows their own strength is already protected. The one who trusts their own inner compass is already free. And in this state, curses lose their meaning, because there is nothing inside you that can agree with them anymore. Replacing the broken curse with authority also transforms your daily life. You stop reacting out of fear, and you start responding from strength. You no longer carry old words like weights on your back. Instead, you carry presence, and this presence becomes your shield. People may still try to limit you, they may still speak against you, but it no longer enters. Authority is like a wall that surrounds your spirit, not by isolating you, but by making you so complete that nothing external can weaken you. Breaking curses is powerful, but embodying authority is lasting. This is the step where freedom becomes not just an experience but a way of living. Because once you step fully into your own authority, no curse can ever find its way back into your life again. It is not enough to simply speak words of power once and expect transformation to last forever. Just as a seed needs constant nourishment to grow into a strong tree, your spirit requires daily practice to remain resilient. Curses and negative words do not always vanish in an instant. Sometimes they return in whispers, sometimes they try to resurface in your thoughts, and sometimes they appear through the voices of others who echo the same limiting patterns. If you are not rooted in consistent practice, those whispers can slip back in. But when you strengthen your spirit each day, you create a foundation so firm that nothing outside of you can disturb it. This practice is not about grand rituals. It is about aligning thought, breath, and action. It begins with your inner dialogue, the words you choose to speak to yourself. Every morning when you wake, you have a choice to repeat the stories of fear and limitation, or to affirm strength, clarity, and freedom. The mind is like a field, and each thought is a seed. What you water will grow. If you water curses with worry and attention, they gain life. If you water truth and light with conscious repetition, they become the dominant force in your being. Breath, too, is a powerful tool. Each time you breathe with awareness, you remind yourself that you are present, alive, and connected to something greater. A steady breath calms the storms of the mind. When you breathe deeply and consciously, you create space between yourself and the weight of negative words. In that space, curses cannot touch you. They may exist outside, but they cannot enter, because your breath keeps you anchored in the present moment where their power fades. And then comes action. Words and breath must flow into the way you live. It is not enough to reject curses in your mind, but continue acting in ways that align with them. Your actions must express the authority you have reclaimed. Walk with dignity, speak with intention, and carry yourself as one who is no longer bound. Each step you take in alignment with your inner truth reinforces the shield around your spirit. Over time, this becomes natural. It becomes your way of being, and no curse can find a place in that. Consistency is the key. Just as training the body requires repetition, training the spirit requires daily devotion. Even small moments of practice, when done with awareness, create immense strength, and soon, resilience becomes who you are, not something you occasionally access. Curses, judgments, negativity, they may appear, but they will meet a wall of light too strong to penetrate. This is why daily practice is essential. It transforms freedom from a temporary experience into a permanent state, ensuring that the words once spoken against you will never again have the power to shape your life.